Los Angeles, California is the place to be for the Raw debut on Netflix tonight. And for my preview this week, we are going to go. I'm not gonna go with the main event side of things because I think Seth and Punk writes itself. Just let them go. The Ulafalas tribal warfare again writes itself. Let them have their match. Let them go. Let's have all the shenanigans like the Mania matches we had. No, I'm gonna go with what I'm looking forward to for tonight, which I'm hoping will be the debut of Penta on Raw. Now, he's been rumoured for weeks, he's been teased for weeks with these little vignettes, and you finally saw the full mask in effect last week, which usually means the guy's going to debut this week. So what do we expect? We expect some phenomenal work from Penta. He's a phenomenal luchador, and what do I want from Penta? I don't want the AEW Pentagon, or Penta Zerda Miro. I want the Lucha Underground Penta, because that guy got me interested in him. If you don't know, Lucha Underground used to be a kind of TV show / wrestling show that used to be on TV long ago on the LA network. You can't really get it over here in the UK, so you kind of find your means of getting it. But for me, Lucha Underground was an incredible work. They had the likes of Prince Puma, who was Ricochet, likes of a lot of your wrestlers that have been into big promotions being different characters. And you also had Chavo Guerrero. But there was a lot of good big names in there. You had John Morrison, who was Johnny Mundo. You had, obviously, like I said, Prince Puma, who was Ricochet, but kind of everyone knew anyway. There was a lot of people you didn't really know. Your Angelicos, your Willie Max. If you weren't big in the kind of indie scene of the time, which I'll be honest, I wasn't, these were given a platform to work alongside them. And one of those people who was obviously big in AAA and was he in CML? No, he was in AAA. Was Pentagon Jr. Now he can't be Pentagon Jr. anymore because they own the rights to that. So he's now Penta El Zero Mero. Now, Pentagon went around breaking arms to appease his master, who turned out to be, of all people, Vampiro. Now, it was good storyline, good storytelling, because it gave him character, it gave him meat to go alongside the good in-ring work. And I want that for Penta when he comes to WWE. You've seen it a lot of the times when story and character work works so well for these wrestlers who come in, but you've also seen it work badly when wrestlers don't have any character. My prime example for this is DIY. Now, they are, I'd say, at their best point on the main roster because they now have character. They now have an edge because I know it's a kind of a heel turn and that's all it is, but they're given more to it. And they've been given kind of backstage time in a sense and doing their little bits here and there within SmackDown. It's giving them more to be invested in. And I think that having Penta do a similar role to what he did in Lucha Underground and just going around causing havoc for a purpose, and then we reveal that purpose to be whoever it would be. Maybe it's, I don't know, Dom. Imagine. But having Penta have a purpose and a character kind of means more than just, here is another good wrestler. This time he has a mask on. Here's another masked wrestler that's good, in a sense. Because we've had that. We've had that with Dragon Lee. And we had that with other mass wrestlers that have come in and tried to be the next big thing, the next mass wrestler, with your Kalistos, your Sin Caras, and all that. None of them have stacked up to the one person who will always be the possibly the biggest mass wrestler of all time, and the person I would have him team with on the Raw debut, but also turn on in the Raw debut after the match, and that's Rey Mysterio. Because a Rey Mysterio Penta feud with some character work built in, where you have him, in a sense, break the arm of Rey Mysterio. So, or injure the arm, in a sense. Maybe not break. Or something to that extent. You can have him then feud with some of the others from the LWO. You can have him take out the two tag team of Joaquin Felix and it was Val Mendoza or whatever it is now. Anyway, the two tag team guys are there. You can have him feud with Dragon Lee, and then you build to the Mania match. Rey Mysterio, Penta, El Zero Miedo. And that is your match for Penta. It gets him a big enough spotlight because he's facing the biggest mass wrestler in the biz. And I know that most people will probably want Dom Ray 3, but I don't think Ray's going to retire just yet. And I would prefer to have that be the retirement match for Ray. And like the passing of the torch for Dom. And like that kind of thing. But for me, this year's Mania match for Ray should be Penta. I think that works nicely. It gives you a starting point for Penta. And I think if you have him do the good character work that he had, similar to what he had in Lucha Underground, I think it works better. And that's what I'd look for. Don't get me wrong, he's phenomenal in the ring. We've seen that in AEW. Did he have the character work that he had in Lucha Underground? I don't think so. And I think that is what, in a sense, was missing for him being that next step. He was always within that tag team scene, and he may move back into that tag team scene once Rey Fenix is available out of his AEW contract, whatever the stipulation is with that. But for now, Penta is going it alone, so why not give him some character work alongside him and give the fans a reason to want to be invested in him? Because I'm already invested in Penta being in the WWE. I just want him to have the right character work. Guys, let me know what you think. What will be the biggest moment coming out of the Netflix debut of Monday Night Raw? Like this video if you haven't. Subscribe if you're new. Until next time, guys. Take care.